Hello, my holistic soul sisters and astrology lovers. I wanted to go through the 2023 Astrology Retrograde journal and help give you a better idea of how you can use this journal and use it to maximize the astro energy throughout the year. If you do not have a copy of the Astrology Retrograde journal, this video will give you a sneak peek as to what's inside and again, how you can use it throughout the year. So before we even dive in, just a little overview of this journal. This is truly my soul and my gift on paper. I started it in 2020 to help people make sense of their chaos. So this is the third edition, and I have added so much to this edition. I have crammed these pages full of astro weather information. So this journal is part educational, where you are going to learn about the zodiac signs, the planets, the energy. By the end of the year, you will have a much better understanding of astrology, and it is part interactive. So you are going to use this information and actually implement it into your life through journal prompts, moon ritual ideas, herbs and chakras and crystals, and so much more. So part interactive, where you're going to want to come back to it on a regular basis. But if you are purchasing it, later in the year, you can still go back and still learn so much about astrology at any point. So with that, let's go ahead and dive in. When you get your journal, the first thing you're going to want to do is open up to the introduction page. Here, I just kind of talk a little bit about the journal itself, why I included certain weather events, and just a little bit of an overview. At the bottom, I have the resources. So if you are not currently following me on YouTube, I do a more detailed version of each astro weather event mentioned in this journal over on YouTube. Also join our Holistic Soul Sister private Facebook community, where you can ask more questions about your chart or the astro weather or anything that we talk about related to Holistic Soul Sisters. Also over on Instagram, you can contact me for private chart readings or more information. And specifically to relationship astrology, which is the type of astrology that I practice, helping you have better relationships by understanding the astro weather and your birth chart, you can follow me on Tik Tok at the Relational Astrologer. So after that, you're going to flip over the next page, where I give you a little introduction into what are sun seasons, what do they mean, what do they represent, what are retrogrades, lesson learning opportunities, all about new moons and full moons and the differences, and what to do when it is an eclipse. After that, I give you a little cheat sheet here, which just gives you a little overview of astro language, astro lingo, so glossary, meeting your life coaches. I consider each planet a life coach to us. It rules over a certain area of our life. Just like we have a life coach that would be a personal trainer and a life coach that's a mental health therapist. Different people in our lives help us with different things. Same thing with our life coach planets, so you're going to want to get to know them. Then the zodiac signs, remembering that each zodiac sign is just an energy. It's a lens, it's a vibe, it's a perspective that these life coaches take on when they move into that energy or that zodiac sign. So this is your cheat sheet. Then we start the journal here with 2023. So this page gives you some unique astro weather for the year coming up. This is what makes 2023 unique. So I put those in there. The following pages then is more like a graph, just to give you a general overview and your reference point at any point throughout the year. So let's say it's May 5th and you're like, oh, I wonder if anything's going on. Instead of searching through your journal, you can just come here, look for the date. These are all the full and new moons, all the degree points that they are occurring at. So you can pull out your birth chart and look very quickly if you have any planets in those areas of the sky. What is new this year is not only this page, but I've also included all the symbols. Anytime I list a zodiac energy, I've included the symbols. So when you're looking at your birth chart, it's usually only going to have the symbol and not the name of the zodiac sign. So that will be really helpful as you move throughout the year. This is a graph on all the retrogrades. This journal was actually formulated specifically for retrogrades, but I have now expanded it to include sun seasons, new moons, and full moons, because they are just as important for us to embrace those energies as it is to learn the lessons during retrogrades. So this graph is going to show you here the number of planets going retrograde within each month. You can see in February and March we have no active retrogrades, but by the time we get to September, we have 8. So that will help you kind of understand the energy or the season that we're in on an overview. Down here is listed all the retrogrades for the year ahead. the dates that each planet will be retrograding. So for instance, you know that you're not supposed to get married, break up, do anything related to love and relationships during a Venus retrograde. So that is how you can plan your year ahead and look, okay, I definitely shouldn't get married during this time, and so on with the other life coach planets as you start to learn and understand what each retrograde means. Another example would be Mercury. We know we're not supposed to travel during Mercury retrogrades, or we do have free will, but we can anticipate some hiccups, delays, those kind of things. So you can go ahead and look at the year ahead at all the Mercury retrogrades and plan accordingly. So this page will be a great reference point. Down here, it's just the sun season, so you know currently what sun season you're in, depending on what date it is. So then here we start actually with the journal itself, and I'm going to go through all the page outlines to help you better understand how to use them. So for each month, there will be an intro page. There will be the calendar for you to kind of get a general overview of the month ahead. You can also fill out what you have going on in that month right here, and that might help you kind of navigate when there's a new moon or a full moon. Now, for this journal, I've only included in the calendars the new moons, the full moons, the retrogrades, and the sun seasons. When I do my YouTube videos of the month ahead forecast, so for instance, the February overview, I discuss so many more astro weather events than that's listed in this journal. So for instance, when Venus and Jupiter come conjunct in the sky, when there's squares, when there's different kinds of astro weather that's unique, you can watch that YouTube video, pull out your retrograde journal, and then fill in those dates as well. So that's what this page can be used for. In addition, I give you a general overview of what you can expect for the month ahead, and you will notice that I have all the dates in bold, so they're easy to kind of see. In case you have anything going on already on your calendar in those dates, you can notice the astro weather that will play into that event you have planned in your life. In addition, I have the active retrogrades listed at the top, so you know which planets are currently retrograde. And then of course I added in a little bit of advice for you here so you kind of know what to focus on for that month. And I thought it was important to leave a little space at the bottom for your top goal of that month. After you read kind of the astro energy and what we're going through, it can kind of give you a guideline as to what you should maybe be focusing on. And that was really the point of this journal, is to help you not only make sense of the chaos, but to plan your year working with the astro energy so you understand what's going on. An example would be in January, we went into the year with 3 active retrogrades. So we didn't run into the year. After the 3rd week, that's when we had the green light. So you could have used that information to plan your top goal for January to be organizing your house, getting your systems in place, doing some back end work so that you can launch as we move forward. So that was my intention here with the top goal spot. And then we have the sun season pages. So each sun season, all 12 of them, will have their own page, and it represents when the sun moves into that zodiac sign. And something to understand about sun seasons is that wherever the sun is, right, the sun brings heat and life and vitality. Imagine what the sun feels like when it hits your skin. It just radiates down upon you, and it brings you that heat or that energy. Same thing happens when the sun moves into each zodiac sign. It's going to radiate down upon us like a spotlight, shining the heat or the energy of that zodiac sign onto us here on Earth. So this is how we can work with the energy. Now, if you know your birth chart and you know where that zodiac sign falls in your chart, so for instance, if you are a Capricorn rising, that would put Capricorn in your first house of your identity. So if you've had a birth chart reading done by me, you have your PDF that lists every single zodiac sign and what area of life that rules for you. And you can go ahead and add that to the top of your journal. So you know, for example, again, if you are a Capricorn rising, when the sun is in Capricorn, this is going to be the time of year that you're going to focus on your identity. So all depending on your rising sign. If you need help with that, reach out. We can do a mini reading, just like a 30-minute session where I can help you figure out your journal and what time of the year you need to focus on different things depending on the sun season. So back to this page now and how you can use it even if you don't know your birth chart. So I listed here again the dates that you're going to feel this astro energy. I give you a little overview of what that astro energy means, the planet that rules it, and just your main details to know about this. And also here on the left is a graph for you to use to get kind of the cliff notes. So we're going to go through the element of that zodiac sign, the symbol, the planet, the organ system it rules over, what area of life this dominates, the polarity, meaning the opposite zodiac sign, the opposite energy, the theme that you should feel or work on during this sun season, and the motto of the season. You'll also see that I put the nicknames. So for Capricorn season, we call that goal setting season, the time where you want to look at your long-term plans, long-term visions, again, get your structures organized so you can accomplish your big dreams. I also added for every sun season page the mantra, so you could put this on a post-it note, you could put it up on your mirror, and just your little reminder of that energy that you can work with. In addition to that, I gave you a bucket list for all the sun seasons. So again, you can work with the energy of the sun as it's radiating down upon you. So go ahead and add these to your calendar, things that you can do during that sun season. In addition, I give you the positive and the shadow energies that you can work with. As the sun radiates down upon us with this zodiac energy, we might tap into these positive energies that we can work with. So during Capricorn season, you can feel more organized, more disciplined, more motivated, right? This happens at the new year and we all get really motivated and excited and ready to make things happen. And that's due to the fact that it's Capricorn season. But you also want to be aware of the shadow energies. Shadow energies come up because sometimes we are imbalanced or we're too much into that energy. So I give that here for you so you can kind of be aware of those things. And then lastly, your journal prompts. You can fill out your journal prompts at any point in time during that sun season. So I usually encourage you to kind of reference back, check in, and make sure you fill them out. It's a great reflection at the end of the year to kind of see where you were at and how much you've grown. That leads us then to the next pages, which are going to be the full and new moon pages. The full and new moon pages layout looks very similar. There's just a few differences that I will point out when we get to the new moon page. So first of all, for both of them, we are going to list what zodiac sign that full moon or new moon is occurring in, the date and the time. Noticing that the time is based on Eastern Standard Time. So if you do not live in Eastern Standard Time Zone, just go ahead and cross that off and adjust it for your time zone. In addition, up on the boxes on the top, I list where the sun and the moon is, creating the full moon. Remembering full moons are oppositions, where the sun is in one zodiac sign and the moon is directly opposite. So I list where the sun is, 16 degrees of Capricorn, moon directly opposite at 16 degrees of Cancer. So you can go ahead again and pull up your birth chart and see if you have any planets around those energies. Then I list the theme and the ruler of each full and new moon, knowing that whatever zodiac sign it is in, the planet that rules that zodiac sign becomes the full or new moon ruler. So giving you a little cheat sheet on that as well. And then I lay out an entire paragraph of energy that you should work with, energy you may be feeling. Again, the purpose of this journal is to help you make sense of your chaos. So that's what you're going to do in this paragraph. And then I leave a little space here for you for the full moons, what you want to release from your life. Remembering that full moons are all about letting go, moving on, culminations, peaks, ending of chapters. And so you can kind of feel into your energy on this day. And when you understand what this moon is calling you forward to release, you can write that in here. Then for each full and new moon, I give you a ritual idea. So if you're just kind of getting into moon rituals and you're not exactly sure what to do, I have laid it out here for you for every single full and new moon, a brand new ritual. And again, this is just a template. You can make it your own. And with that, I've given you crystals, herbs, and the chakra that you can work on around this time. Remembering for full moons and new moons, you can work with this energy for 3 days before to 3 days after the lunation. So if maybe you want to do your moon ritual on January 5th or January 7th, you didn't get a chance on this specific date, that's okay. You can still work with this energy. The crystals you can utilize and just have them near you. You can incorporate them into your ritual somehow. The herbs, you can drink them as a tea. You can sprinkle them again, like maybe in your sage bowl, or you could even take them in tincture form to kind of work with that energy. And same thing with the chakra system. And lastly, of course, you're going to want to fill out your journal prompts. This is the energy or the thoughts or the feelings that are going to be coming up and being heightened at this time. So it's a great reflection. I customized all the journal prompts specifically for the energy of that astro weather event. So that is your full moon page. The only major difference between the full moon and the new moon page is that up here, you will notice during a new moon, it's when the sun and the moon are conjunct. So instead of an opposite zodiac signs during the full moon, you will see that the degree point listed is the exact same for the sun and the moon. So again, you can check your chart and see if you have any planets around those degree points. In addition, I, of course, give you the theme, the ruler of that moon, a paragraph. Also, what is different is for a full moon, it's a time of peaks, of highlighting, of ending, of releasing and letting go. But a new moon is a new beginning. So right here, instead of what you're going to release, you're going to write down what your intention is, what your new manifestation is, where you want to go. So that is a difference here between the full and new moon. But everything else is the same. You have your moon ritual, the crystals, herbs, and chakra to work with, as well as your journal prompts to fill out. And you will notice on some pages as you flip through, there's going to be a little bold statement in some pages. That just indicates when a certain planet is coming out of retrograde. Each planet has its own retrograde page, but since the fact that this journal is chronological, I wanted to make sure when that planet comes out of retrograde, you get another little reminder. So for instance, you see this new moon in Aquarius happens on the 21st, and the following day, Uranus is coming out of retrograde. So it's just a kind of little reminder, and since it's chronological, I just decided to put them in on those pages. And that, of course, leads us to the retrograde pages, which is what this journal was originally designed to discuss. Retrogrades are lesson learning periods. It's when that planet goes back over the same area of the sky it has already visited. It's an opportunity for us to reflect, reanalyze, reassess, redo, retrograde, and it's a cosmic universal reset. We're getting a redo opportunity. So we have to learn some sort of lesson. Retrogrades are super, super important in astro weather. So you will see here, you get 2 whole pages with lots of information about the retrogrades. And so this was Mercury's retrograde that happened at the end of 2022, leading us into this new year. And so for each retrograde page, I give you the little symbol of that life coach planet, the dates the retrograde is occurring through, and the degree points. So again, you're going to want to grab out your birth chart and see if you have any planets between those degree points to see if that retrograde is going to impact you specifically or in a specific way. Then with all the information on here, I introduce you to this life coach. So what are they trying to teach you? What area of life do they rule over? So you can see what area of life may be impacted by that retrograde. Then I go into further detail of what they're trying to teach you during their retrograde, what you should pay attention to, what energy might come up, what may you have to redo, reanalyze, reassess, etc., etc. And then each time a planet retrogrades, they retrograde in a certain zodiac sign, in a certain energy. That brings in another layer to it. So I made sure to really help you understand that zodiac energy and what happens when this life coach planet specifically retrogrades through that zodiac sign. So again, so much information, so much education. Even if, again, you get this journal later on in the year, you can always go back and learn so much about the astro weather. Then over on the right side, I give you the lesson, the main highlighted lesson you're meant to learn at this time, what you can expect during this season. Perfect time to incorporate these things, kind of like a bucket list, but perfect time to do these activities in your life. Of course, I give you the do's and don'ts. Those are major. I would definitely either screenshot these, keep them on your phone. Big, big important things to remember during each retrograde season. And then I have journal prompts here for you. The journal prompts for the retrogrades, you see I added in 3 versus just the 2 on the other astro weather events. And that's again because retrogrades are such big learning lesson periods and they span a period of time. So what I recommend with the journal prompts for retrogrades is you fill them out 3 times. Once at the beginning of the retrograde, once somewhere in the middle of the retrograde, and once when the retrograde is over. And you will see here that your thoughts and your feelings and the way that you responded to these prompts is going to be different from the beginning to the end because you're learning lessons, you're redoing something, you're gaining new information, you're reassessing an area of your life. And so it's a great way, again, to kind of reflect upon what you wanted to learn or where you wanted to go in this year, in this season. So with that, at the end of every month, I left a blank page here for you to utilize for your journal prompts. Or again, if you're watching my Astro Weather videos on my YouTube channel, you can use this page to fill in more information, to make notes, maybe make notes on your own birth chart, or maybe what specific weather events are impacting you. So a little extra page here for you. So with that being said, you can see that this journal has so much information for you here. It goes through the entire year. It's over 90 pages, and you can chronologically go through, plan your year ahead, and again, see if anything is impacting you in certain ways. With all that being said, you can purchase a copy of this astrology journal on the Holistic Soul Sisters shop. Find it in the description box below. If you have any questions on how to use this journal, please don't hesitate to reach out via either Instagram, Facebook, email, whatever. And again, it's the perfect gift for anyone who is trying to learn astrology, better understand it, or just work with the energy and make sense of their chaos. Thank you so much again, my Holistic Soul Sisters and my fellow astrology lovers, for supporting me, supporting my work, allowing me to share my gift out into the world. It is such a blessing. It is a dream come true. I never thought I'd be able to really tap into all of this astro energy and be able to help people with it. So I'm eternally grateful for you. Thank you for your support, and I will catch you in the next video.